Hmm.
Awesome. So we're going to be talking about making money with NFTs and the metaverse. Let's go. All right. So it's basic, definition of the metaverse. My opinion, it's really just the next iteration of the internet. And I know there's um, a lot of various definitions of what the metaverse is, and thanks to Facebook, a lot of confusion of what the metaverse is. um, but we know there's different iterations, where you need headsets and those worlds where you do not. But when we look at the mid 90s and the introduction of the World Wide Web and how it's evolved to date, this is the next phase. 3D virtual environments that are immersive, that will include many tools such as augmented reality, artificial intelligence, voice technology, and blockchain. So why should we care? On the conservative side, the metaverse is estimated to make 1.3 trillion. Now we're talking the T's, guys, the big T's, in just a few years. We're already at 2022, and this is on the conservative side. You're going to see most reports saying $13 trillion by 2030. So what is the makeup and component of this? And we see here it's anywhere from events to creators to hardware to social commerce. We have advertising as well. And so there are a lot of opportunities within every industry as it relates to the next iteration of the internet. And worlds, we talked, we said there's a lot of confusion around what is a metaverse, or some people say metaverse sci. I like to call it the multi-meta universe. um, you have currently the current iterations. We have both decentralized and centralized worlds, where most of you have heard of Roblox, Decentraland. I'm leading a new world called Lore. There's Fortnite, there's Sandbox. There are ecosystems such as Fame that are tying into the metaverse as well, Fame Universe. So we're going to see many iterations, both on the decentralized side and the centralized side. And what's so interesting is that 72% of consumers have already entered a virtual world in the last 12 months. And when we're talking about NFTs and monetization, we're looking at virtual land selling between $6,000 and $100,000. And it's expected to double in just a few months. And so, when we're looking at NFTs and monetization, how does that tie in to the metaverse and the world and the lands and the real estate? And so we're diving deeper here on fashion and the opportunity of fashion. And we've seen many iterations of how this has presented itself in the metaverse space, from gaming to digital assets to e-commerce and digital experiences. Gamings, we see NFTs being used to access certain experiences and rewards. We have digital ownership as well within gaming. And also, when you are accumulating a certain amount of points, you can earn NFTs. So again, when you're thinking of fashion, it's not just going to be on the commerce side. We see gaming as a really exciting area that's continuing to grow. And it's been around for a while. Second Life and Sims, it's been around, but it's interesting to see how it's evolving on top of the blockchain. So digital assets, I had mentioned land, and what does that have to do with fashion? Well, when you think of fashion real estate, you think of storefronts, you think of malls, you think of outdoor retailers. And so, again, this could be applied to almost any industry, but what can you do as it relates to digital asset ownership and fashion real estate? Maybe you are the world builder. Maybe you are building the infrastructures that are sitting on top of the world. And each of those things are being monetized through NFTs. Maybe you are creating the actual fashion garments that are going to live on your avatars or just live in a virtual closet. And as it relates to e-commerce, instead of doing traditional transactions on fiat, you have the authentication through NFTs. And how is that going to really move e-commerce forward? And we have 3D models, we have videos, we have music, we have images, imagery, photography, all now being able to be put on the blockchain for ownership. How do you tie that into e-commerce? As a fashion brand, Tommy Hilfiger, you could take your video of your fashion show, mint that as an NFT, and sell that in addition to the cool jackets or shoes or sneakers that you're selling. So again, it's really opening up your mind to, how you can blend these different assets. We know an NFT could be anything that could be made as a digital file. So from storytelling to poetry to art to photography to videos, music, there's really cool music soundtracks that are created behind, during a fashion show. Again, you as a DJ, you can now make money by like creating that soundtrack from the, Fairwing fashion show or the Gucci fashion show as an NFT. Again, there's no limits here. And phygital experiences, tying the physical event or the physical product to the digital product and using it for on demand, and or unlocking the ability to purchase an item or the ability to access different experiences associated with that item. So again, your NFT could be the digital representation of the physical product and or the digital access to the physical product. So just a few case studies here. We have, oh, okay, my computer literally is doing its own thing, guys. It's literally doing its own thing.
Automatic.
I was like, slow down. Okay, so some case studies. Louis Vuitton entered the game in 2019, right? So, we have to pay attention. I love the presentation before about the future of NFTs and all these really cool things that are coming down the pike. We have to pay attention to not only what's happening now, but what's coming in the future, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, because the space is moving so quickly. What's relevant now may not be relevant in 12 months. So keeping in mind the evolution in these new use cases and starting now, doing what Louis Vuitton did in 2019, Gucci did in 2021, where a lot of companies are just now pivoting to incorporating fashion within their business models. So why fashion? Why the hype? Is it just hype? Is it real? It's absolutely real. We're talking in the trillions with the metaverse, 1 trillion with metaverse market size on the conservative end. We're seeing 1.5 trillion with the global apparel market size. And when you boil that down, you have 100 million avatars that are expected to be in play in 3 years, guys. 3 years. 50% of consumers wanting to purchase a digital asset. So there is a huge consumer base that want to own these digital assets, and they can be in the form of NFTs. We're looking at 10 to 15% of our wardrobe being replaced by digital fashion, which seems still a little crazy. And I'm in the fashion industry, but between gaming and our avatars and phygital commerce, we're going to see not only the digital assets, but the NFT versions being a bigger part of our everyday lives and really tying into, how we express ourselves, as I'll get into in just a few minutes. I'm going to speed through this because I know I'm running short on time. So again, we have, as it relates to NFTs, being in the form of digital assets. And one of the things that intrigues me is beauty. You're thinking NFTs, digital music you can listen to, but what are you going to do with beauty NFTs? And that area is exploding, the hair industry, beauty industry, that most people aren't paying attention to. We've seen the art as a use case. We've seen communities such as Bored Apes as a use case for NFTs, but there's so much more. And then when you tie community and membership to fashion, right? May it be around a brand, may it be around a collective of brands, may it be around a collective of, in a category. If you're an outdoor person, you have an NFT where you get discounts on an array of outdoor fashion apparel. I mean, the use cases are endless here. I touched on expression. This is going to be a conversation term you're going to hear come up over and over again, how we can more easily express ourselves, and have ownership and play the game and use this expression for not only our psychological well-being, but empowerment as it relates to ownership when we have these NFTs. I touched on commerce a little bit, but sustainability is a big part of the play that the NFTs are going to have as it relates to commerce, on-demand production, trend forecasting with NFTs. Trend forecasting companies make a lot of money. And if they decided to release the reports in the form of NFTs, that's powerful, especially if it's tied to actual data as it relates to consumers purchasing X number of NFTs. Then they know what percentage of that will be demanded to go into the physical form and then using that trend and selling that as an NFT to fashion brands. Avatars are going to be a huge, huge play. We say 100 million in just a few years. Everything from hair to makeup to clothing to accessories to the actual avatar, your digital twins, your alter egos, all going from just digital assets to being on a smart contract where you can trade, use it for DeFi, gaming, so many things. Again, my slideshow is, again, doing its own thing. But anyway, the last slide was just what's the future? And we see production and sustainability being a huge part of how NFTs are going to make a great impact in the space, and how we can use those NFTs to monetize within that sustainability arena. We have our digital expression in the form of avatars and ownership, may it be land, may it be real estate, may it be physical real estate structures, may it be clothing and items or products that go in your homes, in your offices, on your body. We have memberships and community. We have experiences that aren't just limited to 3D environments, but augmented reality experiences where you can use these NFTs to unlock certain rewards and experiences. And again, this is just within the fashion realm. New York Fashion Week, Milan Fashion Week, these are very inaccessible to a lot of people. But with an NFT, now you have a front row seat. So again, lots of opportunity here, and I'm going to stop my screen share. I'm Nova Lorraine, happy to answer any questions. I'm on LinkedIn, and I think I have 1 minute.
Yeah, fascinating. Yeah,